paid by the two receivers or
Well,
transmitters
that
there.
isn't too awful much compared to the farmers around here.
Yeah, well, they, you know, I guess it's based on what the value of their personal property is on there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how the windmills would be too, you know,
Mhm.
but that would be, like you say, it'd be a lot more money because the value of them is a lot more per tower,
Right.
so.
Right.
So they'd be paying a lot more personal property taxes to the township.
Right. I really think, and I think you believe it too, that's why you're on this committee and why you're in the township as officials, that you have a responsibility to preserve the ability of collection of taxes for our township. I mean, we're kind of hard up now. The school's kind of hard up. Who isn't hard up? Look at the price of gas today.
Yes.
That's enough to break anybody. Am I right?
Yes.
We do need alternative energy, and we have to act on it. And I don't want to see us go backwards in Fairfield Township. And another question I have, you sat on the committee and you voted, Dean, don't you have a tower on your property?
Yes, I do.
Now, how'd you get that on there?
They came to me,
Well, yeah,
and
but,
then they came to the township, and I had nothing to do with the meeting part of it. I was on the board at the time, and I abstained from the thing. And it was already coming, it was either going there, to the south of me, or to the north of me.
Communication towers cannot be stopped.
well,
Stay low.
I believe it. There's
So
other
it's gonna
things.
go in regardless of whether Dean voted for it or not,
Yeah.
which he couldn't.
Well, that's what I say, this energy will be around here, whether we want it or not, in your future, if not mine. So think about, you know, our township. Not all these other townships. I mean, they're gonna go by their own laws and rules. Am I right?
Yes.
So then why are we following everything that they're doing? Why are we taking, it's like we're carbon copying everything that they're doing. We're our own individual township. I mean, that was one reason why I think Janice Harsh got kicked off, was because she was trying to do things like Abram Township. Trying to follow the things that they were doing with building the nice township hall and stuff. And so now we're doing the same thing. We're doing exactly what the other townships are doing. We're an individual township. I mean, yes, I see you have to set some rules and regulations, but you know, you can't make them so tight that it's impossible for them to put them up.
We haven't got that far yet.
Well, I know, that's what I'm just saying, you
Yeah.
need to think about that when you are doing this.
Yep.
Don't follow Riga and Palmyra and Ogden.
We're
But everything you brought in this is what Riga's doing, this is
Okay.
what,
We
and
have-
we'll make a copy, I mean, you're doing it almost word for word from what theirs are.
We had talked before at the meetings, we've looked at a lot of different ordinances, I have a list of things that I've read and looked at. I've been going to meetings for several years, went to the one that was offered through the, extension office back when it was first starting. And, what we were looking at that for is to save our township money. They have hired a really big lawyer, spent lots and lots of money. They've gone through all the heat of what the community and people are thinking. And it's new and it's up to date, it's new, and they live in the same area as us, so it's very similar to our situation.
Right, it's similar, but why do we have to follow exactly what they're doing? I mean,
We haven't.
I don't think anybody's following anything, I think they're listening. They're
Mhm.
listening to what people say, they're listening to what the townships say. We haven't made any decisions here at all. We're listening to the whole picture, just like we're listening to this about the energy. You know, we're open-minded to this, and, you know, we've made no decisions whatsoever, you know, for somebody to come out and say, you're following this and that. We haven't. We're just listening and gathering all the, let's say, evidence that's out there.
Okay, but, okay, most of the stuff that you have up here is negative stuff. Have you got any positive stuff up there?
You've got the newspapers at home, you got the radio,
Oh,
people that'll listen to, onto the meetings. So you've got the other side here too. It's
Yeah.
just we don't have documents.
The meeting that
Yeah.
we was at Riga, it was their first, well, it was their public hearing on it, you know, and they had people speak, and 48 people got up to speak. And out of that,
48?
48 people.
And
they
public
all-
comments.
Yeah, that was public comments. But out of that, 26 were for it, and 22 was against it. So they are divided, well, there was more people for it than was against it. So, and I don't know, they are, according to Deb, she was at the last meeting, they're sending what they're gonna have,
Their draft too.
their draft to their board, so the people that are for it must have decided that it's good enough to go, because they would have still been there arguing. So their numbers are almost split right in half for, half against, so.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of information that, and our ordinance is only as good as what we can enforce, so we have to look at that too. And, talking about they're already allowed in Michigan, so the only thing we can do is maybe put some limitations on it. It's one of those things we can't stop,
right.
so we just have to
But,
look at everything
I'm
and do
just
it.
saying that the limitations, you can't have them so tight and so
Mhm,
restricted
right,
that,
right.
that it's impossible.
Right,
And
because
that's
we'll
what
end
I
up in
think they're trying
court
to do
and
over
our
there.
township won't be able to afford it, yeah.
I mean, because
right.
I went to one the other night too, and
Mhm.
that was the thing, is the restrictions that they're putting on is, it's gonna make it impossible, the restrictions that they're putting, you know?
At Riga?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been following the newspapers like everyone else has, of course, and reading letters to the editor and whatever they write. And this one gentleman compares the wind energy to billboards of yesterday. Now, maybe you don't know what billboards are or what they were. You know, they'd come around and put them on your barn or just tack one in your yard. And the thing of it was, you had to live on a highway to get one of those. Like I say, they came around in the Depression. Our friends lived on Route 20. They made money off of those billboards. We lived off on the side street, side road, you know. We didn't make a thing. Times were tough. We wouldn't mind having those boards up. That's, you know, that's a fact. And that's the same way today. You don't know what the future's going to bring. You've got to go for the better. You've got to go for the best. When I came to the meeting, the only thing I heard was that it's gonna take the land prices down. It's gonna devalue their ground. Well, shortly after that, our assessment we received and our land was up. And yet we had one of the wind testers on our property. Now, I don't understood how it went up when they all said the value was gonna go down. It didn't work that way for us. So you see, we gotta be careful. This is a lot of responsibility that you have.
That
No
is for
kidding.
sure.
No
That is for
kidding.
sure.
However, you can't stop progress. And it's gonna be, you're gonna see it. You might be an old man, but you're gonna see it.
I firmly believe that if they wanna put those windmills in, and I'm not saying I'm against them whatsoever, I feel that, you know, it's a lot of decisions to be made here yet, but if they want them, they're gonna come in here, no matter what we put on a piece of paper.
That's right. Thank you.
Well,
Thank you for the time.
you're welcome. We're glad,
Yes.
we're more than glad to have some input.
Keep coming back though.
We don't wanna try to do this all by ourselves. I mean, you know, there's just a few of us, we need some input from the
Yes.
township. We need the residents to give us input in order for us to do what the majority of the township wants.
That's more important than listening to the radio and the
Yes.
newspapers.
Yes.
And like you
Because
say,
we're
you get
getting-
tired of hearing the negativity on it, because that's all you hear.
And I think a lot of the negativity is hearsay. I think they're fearful. fearful of what could happen.
Okay, very good. Anything else? Thank you. Anybody else got anything?
Yeah, I'd like to